Happy New Year, lovebirds. All right, we've had a week.
It's been a week.
It's been a week. It's been a year, friends. Yeah. So whatever.
The baby's here. We've got
the dog's here.
There's no rules today.
I got injuries.
Yeah.
Tom's got a fried hard drive.
Yeah.
Which is not a euphemism for anything. He literally has a fried hard drive.
For the second time in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Whatever. I'm pinched nerved out. It is what it is. But we're here. I'm Erin.
I'm Tom.
And this is Baby's First Watch List, the podcast that finally watched a movie with worthy love interests.
Yeah, first time.
First time. First time for everything.
Yeah.
Today, we are watching one of my personal favorites of all time. It's 1989's When Harry Met Sally.
Woo!
It is proving my idea. What's my idea? Oh, I just burped. Sorry. What's my idea, Tom?
You have a lot of ideas.
Any movie made, not any movie made, that would be wild. The movies that are made at the end of every decade are really good.
Yeah.
1989, great year for movies. Why? When Harry Met Sally.
Christmas Vacation, too.
Christmas Vacation.
We're doing back-to-back 89s.
I think that Rain Man was 89, too.
I mean, there's an exception to every rule.
Yeah, so 1989 must have been a great year for movies. This one was directed during Rob Reiner's reign of bop after bop.
Oh, yeah.
What are some of Rob Reiner's other movies, Tom, for those who maybe have not tuned into our Misery episode?
Misery.
Yes, 1990's Misery is certainly one of them. We love Misery.
One of my favorites of all time, The Princess Bride.
Princess Bride.
That was him, right?
That was him.
That would have been really weird if I just automatically spawned that into real life, even though it wasn't.
This is Spinal Tap. He did
Stand By Me.
Stand By Me. Oh my God, hit after hit.
A Few Good Men.
Yeah, I didn't see that one actually.
Yeah, I haven't either, but it's allegedly a hit.
Yeah, that one got
that was
nominated for a bunch of stuff.
You know, yeah. I mean, he went nuts.
He went nuts, and I just appreciate the genre hopping.
And that is a euphemism. I don't mean that he went insane. He went crazy. His movies went hard.
Yeah, they're so good. So When Harry Met Sally was written by Nora Ephron, who I absolutely love. R.I.P. to a queen.
Yeah.
What do you know Nora Ephron from, Tom?
Did she? I know her because I know that she did this movie. I know that she wrote Sleepless in Seattle, right?
Yes.
Were there any other? I mean, I know there were others.
Yeah. So I really think of her as the Meg Ryan trilogy.
Okay.
You've got your Sleepless in Seattle, your When Harry Met Sally, and your You've Got Mail.
Okay.
The other two, not this one, but the other two, her co-star is
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks, who we just saw in an unhinged performance in Elvis.
And guess what? Sneak peek into the trivia section. Tom Hanks turned this role down.
I did see that.
Yeah.
And he would have been good, but I love Billy Crystal in this role.
Billy Crystal is better for this character than Tom Hanks.
Yeah. So yeah, Nora Ephron. She also did Julie and Julia.
Okay.
You know, and she did Silkwood.
I have no idea what that is.
It's a Meryl Streep movie.
I know Deadwood.
Not that. No, she did not do that.
We're gonna get a lot of baby sounds, I think, on the recording.
Yeah, we got
today.
the baby here. We couldn't get a babysitter, so we got Mr. Baby. Yes. The cinematographer. This is wild, Tom. The cinematographer is Barry Sonnenfeld.
Yeah, he's a big one.
Okay, so for cinematography, he worked with the Coen brothers, and he was also the cinematographer for Misery, right? So you may remember his name from that.
Yeah.
Did you know he was also a director?
No.
He was like a prolific director, or I think he's still alive, but he directed Addams Family and its sequel. He directed Get Shorty. He directed the Men in Black trilogy and Wild Wild West.
You know, maybe I know him from Men in Black.
Yeah.
That might be where I recognize his name from.
Do you know what my fun fact about Wild Wild West is?
What is it?
I made a little dance to the chorus of the song when I was a kid. It's "We're going straight to the Wild Wild West."
See, this is why you need to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because you get
straight to the Wild Wild West. That's the whole thing.
You get brilliantly choreographed dances.
Yeah. Will Smith should not have turned down The Matrix.
No, he really shouldn't have. But on counterpoint, the studio should have allowed him to make a theme song for The Matrix.
Yes, that was why he turned it down for Wild Wild West. Yeah, because he was like, I'll do The Matrix, but I need to be able to make
a song. And they said no.
And he's like, we're going straight to. I never saw The Matrix.
The Matrix.
The Matrix.
Yes, exactly.
That doesn't quite work as good.
No.
But I'm sure The Matrix is a way better movie than Wild Wild West, which I also did not see. Sorry, Barry Sonnenfeld.
And also the Wachowskis, I guess.
And the Wachowski siblings, yes. So with When Harry Met Sally, the music was also a very big part of it. And of course, this is the moment our son decides to blow raspberries for the first time in his life.
Yes. This is history, people.
I love it. So it was Mark Shaman and Harry Connick Jr. Now, Mark Shaman does like tons of Broadway stuff, tons of movies, all that kind of thing. But Harry Connick Jr., I think, kind of got the big, Harry Connick Jr. did the music for this.
And this was the first movie he did.
For music.
Right.
What do you know Harry Connick Jr. from?
I just know him from like assorted musical things. I don't know that.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
He sold like 26 million records.
Oh, I know.
So, like,
he's like one of those.
Like he's a music guy.
He's like he's like an older generation.
Yeah, he's like it had to be.
Was he like the pre Michael Bublé kind of deal?
That is exactly how I would describe him. He is pre Michael Bublé.
Yeah.
He is Michael A. Blay.
Yeah. This was a mistake.
One thing about Harry Connick Jr. is he was in Hope Floats, directed by Forrest Whitaker.
Oh wow, we're bringing it back.
That's right.
It's Waiting to Exhale.
I kind of know him as an American Idol judge.
Okay.
Weirdly enough,
he was.
Yeah, with like J-Lo, like that, and Steven Tyler.
I had no idea that this was ever an era.
I'm pretty sure that's who it was. Now it's like Katy Perry, Luke Bryan, and Lionel Richie, I think.
I don't remember anybody since the OGs of Simon, Randy, and Paula.
Oh, yeah. We love the OGs. Remember when Ellen DeGeneres was on like one season?
No, I don't. Yeah. I never really watched American Idol.
Yeah.
I only paid attention when Ruben Studdard won.
Yeah, that was season 2, baby.
The Velvet Teddy Bear.
This is my sorry for 2004. And I am gonna mess up no more. Tom?
I don't know the next line.
This year.
I was more of a Flying Without Wings fan.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Flying without wings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who did Ruben Studdard beat?
Clay Aiken.
Clay Aiken.
I told you I paid attention during that season.
And you know all his fans, what they used to say their like slogan was?
No.
We're aching for Clay.
Oh, yes.
I loved American Idol. I would vote. I was like big into it. So yeah, Harry Connick Jr. That's what
somehow
I know
we
him
got
from.
there.
So Nora Ephron actually based Harry on Rob Reiner's life as a single man after his divorce from Penny Marshall.
And Sally is
Sally's her.
Yeah.
Not that they ever dated, but
right.
she said, okay, Sally's, I kind of like mixed me and my friends' experiences together. And so that's kind of who Sally was based on. I'm sure you know this. You might have put this in the trivia that she would, when she didn't want to write, she would interview people from her production company. And those are those little scenes with the old people talking about their lives, although they got actors.
Yeah, I actually did not read that.
That's cool, right?
Yeah.
So all those,
I knew that they were actors and I knew that they were like real stories, but I didn't know what she did to get those
from
stories.
her production company, because she was like, I don't know what else to do right now. Let me just do that.
Right.
And I thought that was a really effective little.
I was gonna. One of my questions is what your thoughts are about those.
Yeah. Oh, you have thoughts too, little one? Oh my goodness.
He has officially decided to go ham.
Yeah, he's going in on it. I wonder if like blowing bubbles makes you tired.
I would hope so.
Oh, same, dude. So this movie was released with a word of mouth strategy that they called a platform strategy. I don't know. So they released it in a few select cities, and they were like, the goal is to get like people in New York and LA and Chicago to really talk about it so that people are clamoring for it when it expands to other cities. Right. And apparently it worked out pretty well. They were up against, I think, like an Indiana Jones movie and another big blockbuster. And it was a really successful run.
Yeah.
It made $92.8 million on a $16 million budget. Almost the budget of RRR, which came out this year.
Yes.
Which that's a wild movie.
It was the most expensive Indian film ever made.
Yeah, at $17 million.
According to Wikipedia.
Yes.
No, it was $70 million.
Oh, $70 million.
Not quite the same. I thought you were joking.
This changes my whole perspective perspective, Tom, I thought this entire week that RRR was made for $17 million. And I was like, that is really
They would have had to have paid every extra in that movie. They would have had to have paid $1 because there's about 17 million extras
I know.
in that movie.
Yeah, and there's so much CGI.
Yes.
There's so much like crazy stuff
Yes.
happening. 70 million makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Oh no. It is an impressive 96-minute runtime when Harry Met Sally. Not RRR. That's like 5 hours long.
An impressive 3-hour runtime.
Yes. Critics also praised the movie. It received a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes. Nora Ephron's script received an Oscar nomination, and she won the BAFTA. It also was nominated for a bunch of Golden Globes, but like we don't.
I don't get the BAFTAs.
Why don't you get the BAFTAs?
Is Nora Ephron British?
No.
Is Rob Reiner British?
No. And the movie's American too, I know.
I just don't. I mean, I could easily solve this by going on like the BAFTA's website, but I'm not going to do that because
They're just vibes. They're like, I like this movie.
Well, because a lot of time, like they don't have the entire field that is in like the Oscars,
Right.
so they limit it to some degree, and I can't figure out what that degree is.
I know. I kind of like not knowing though. It adds a little mystique.
Because you just never know.
You just never know. Yeah. So she did win the BAFTA for Best Original Screenplay, which is interesting. Since its release, When Harry Met Sally has become a classic in the romantic comedy genre, and it is consistently on lists of influential movies. I had a whole list of like, oh, it was on AFI's this and AFI's that, but like, let's face it, we don't need to go through that list.
Everybody knows When Harry Met Sally.
Exactly.
If you haven't seen it, you still know what it is, probably.
Oh, definitely.
You've seen the diner scene. You know what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. I think of it as probably, to me.
Wait, I'm gonna ask this question later.
Okay. All right. I'm not gonna say that.
I know what you're gonna say.
All right. Go ahead and you give us a nice. This summer's gonna be short.
Ish.
Yeah. Because they just talk.
It's gonna be no waiting. It's gonna be no waiting to exhale.
Oh yeah, Waiting to Exhale was like a book. Oh, it was a book.
It was a book.
That makes sense then.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right. So the movie starts with a segment of an older couple sitting on a couch. It's sort of like a talking head testimonial type deal. And they are talking about how they met and how long they've been together. And these are sort of quick segments that they put throughout the movie with various older couples talking about their meet cutes and all that and those types of things. We begin in earnest in 1977 as Harry Burns, played by Billy Crystal, has graduated from the University of Chicago and is making the drive to New York City with Sally Albright, played by Meg Ryan, a friend of Harry's girlfriend Amanda, and another University of Chicago grad. During the drive, Harry and Sally discuss their different ideas about relationships. Harry believes that men and women can't be friends because, quote, the sex part gets in the way, but Sally disagrees. They eat at a diner, and Harry tells Sally that she's very attractive. Sally rebuffs him, accusing him to try to hook up with her, and when they get to New York, they part on pretty unfriendly terms.
Yeah, she's not like into it. She's like, bye.
5 years later, in 1982, Harry and Sally coincidentally end up on the same flight.
Whoa.
Sally is dating Harry's neighbor Joe, who was played by like the grandson of Gerald Ford.
Really?
Yeah. And Harry is engaged to a woman named Helen, which surprises Sally based on their conversation in 1977. Harry suggests that he and Sally become friends, forcing him to go back on his previous position about the impossibility of male-female friendships. Ultimately, Harry and Sally decide not to be friends. Another 5 years later, in 1987, Harry and Sally run into each other at a bookstore. They have coffee and they talk about their previous relationships. Sally and Joe, it turns out, broke up because they disagreed on marriage and children. Pretty.
I'd say that's a good reason to break up.
That's fair. And Helen left Harry for another man.
Rude.
Or not rude. Harry's annoying.
Okay, but still, that's mean.
After taking a walk together, Harry and Sally do eventually decide to become friends. They have late night phone conversations. They watch movies over the phone. They go to dinner. They help each other.
Cute.
They help each other move furniture. They hang out together discussing their love lives. They're basically dating, but they're not.
Yeah, they're like dating without actually dating.
The iconic diner scene occurs during this period, where Sally publicly demonstrates for Harry that women can fake certain feelings. And a diner patron, played by Rob Reiner's mother, Estelle Reiner, remarks, "I'll have what she's having."
Genius. It's so good.
You know the scene.
You know that scene. You love that scene. Come on.
At a New Year's Eve party, Harry and Sally share a quick kiss as a New Year's formality. Even though they remain friends, they set each other up with their respective best friends, Marie, played by Carrie Fisher.
We love you, Carrie Fisher.
And Jess, played by Bruno Kirby.
I love you too, Bruno Kirby.
Both of them died young.
They did die young, unfortunately.
On their double date, though, Marie and Jess turn out to like each other far more than Marie likes Harry or Jess likes Sally, and the pair quickly fall in love, move in together, and get engaged.
Honestly, like, I kind of understand that because both Sally and Harry are
neurotic.
Crazy.
They're both neurotic.
Neurotic, yeah.
A couple months later, Harry and Sally are shopping for Jess and Marie's upcoming wedding when they end up doing karaoke in like a sharper image.
Oh yeah,
something.
I love that scene.
And who do they run into but Helen, Harry's ex? And it's a really awkward scene.
And Ira,
her
boyfriend, and he's like, I can't believe I was singing Oklahoma in front of Ira. It's like, you just met him.
You don't know who Ira is. Also, they're both in all like tan. They're all in like the most drab colors.
Yes.
Sally then dates a man named Julian, and Harry dates a woman named Emily, but the relationships are obviously doomed because Sally and Harry are still longingly making eyes at each other from across the room. One night, Sally calls Harry, and sorry, these names are like so similar.
I know.
That in my head, I'm like, am I saying them right? One night, Sally calls Harry and tells him that her ex Joe is getting married. Harry goes to her apartment to comfort her, and in Sally's vulnerable state, they sleep together. Harry leaves the next morning feeling awkward and filled with regret. Their friendship cools until they have a heated argument at Jess and Marie's wedding dinner in which Sally angrily slaps Harry.
Oof.
Harry attempts to mend their friendship, but in a bit of a twist from their original conversation, it is now Sally who believes the two cannot be friends.
Good screenwriting.
At the following New Year's Eve party, Sally feels lonely. Harry begins to spend New Year's alone watching Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve.
Which we do every year.
But he leaves to go for a walk before midnight. But that walk turns into a run. As Sally decides to leave the party before midnight, Harry appears and declares his love for her. Sally argues that the only reason he is there is because he's lonely, which is, partially probably true, but he lists the many things that he does love about her. They then have a legit New Year's midnight kiss. Remember how I mentioned those segments with the older married couples that happen throughout the movie?
Yeah.
Well, the movie ends with Harry and Sally talking about how 3 months after that New Year's kiss, they married exactly 12 years and 3 months after their first meeting.
So cute.
That is when Harry met Sally.
That's when Harry met Sally.
I'm calling BS here.
Why?
12 years and 3 months after their first meeting. So, okay. So, 3 months after that New Year's kiss, they got married.
Yeah, so it doesn't make sense.
We're in March.
They didn't
graduate college in January.
Wow.
They either like graduated in January, which it didn't look like because everybody in that first scene is in like short sleeves.
Mm-hmm. It was June for sure.
Yeah, I mean
May, June.
Come on, guys.
Yeah, that's a little shoddy.
Yeah,
I gotta agree with you on that.
Yeah, that's it. That's my BS. That's the BS I'm calling on this movie.
All right, that's not too bad. So my first thing that I wrote down was Sally's organization skills are a vibe. She like breaks down the car drive into shifts where she's like, okay, we have 18 hours. So I broke it up into 3 shifts of 6 hours and blah, blah, blah. I said, it kind of reminds me of our newborn nighttime shifts.
I was going to say it reminds me of your Disney itinerary.
Well, that also is very true. Yes, my Disney itinerary. So if you're planning a Disney World trip, hit me up. I'll do it for free.
I'll do it for free. It's not like
really fun.
We're not soliciting anything.
No. It's really fun. I pretty much break down every second of every single day. So
if you're a true psychopath, you will love it.
If you're a true psychopath, hit me up, but not really if you're a real psychopath. that would not be good. So I said, okay, so one of the things is Harry and Sally, they disagree about the movie Casablanca.
Yeah.
In the beginning. And Harry says that like, oh, she should have stayed with Humphrey Bogart. And Sally's like, no, she made the right choice to go and leave Casablanca, right? Do we have any movies that we disagree about? I like could not think of any. We actually have like very similar taste in movies, and even when we don't, I feel like we have a similar like appreciation.
Like the movies that you like that I don't like, I understand why you like them.
Right.
They're not my speed.
Right, exactly.
And vice versa for you.
Exactly. Anything with sand, space, the Southwest.
The 3 S's.
The 3 S's.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if I could think of one.
Maybe like The Housewives.
The movie The Housewives.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you might be right about that actually. The closest thing I came to it was the TV show Normal People.
Yeah, didn't like it.
I liked it a lot more than you did. Like I really liked it.
I'm in the minority on that though, and I accept that. Like most people liked it.
Yeah. And Normal People, if you don't know, is a TV series based on a book by Sally Rooney about two teenagers that kind of fall in and out of love and as they're growing up in Ireland. And it's kind of melodramatic and sad.
I disagreed.
I loved it.
I disagreed with the way it was presented. That was why I didn't like it.
That's fair.
It was presented to me as if they were like a couple that you like. I didn't want them to be together. They were not good for each other.
I did. I actually
But the show,
kind of agree with
the show, the way the show framed it was that we want them. We're aching for these two to be together.
Right.
And they were terrible for each other.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't like it. It was more of a disconnect between what it was portraying and what I thought it should have been portraying.
Fair. I think that's totally fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we had different opinions on that one.
Yeah.
But I can't really think of that many other movies.
Not that we like disagree on where like we'll like we're usually just like, oh, okay, yeah, I can see that point of view.
Yeah, exactly. Except I really hated The Hobbit.
I didn't like The Hobbit either. I like the book The Hobbit. I only watched the first movie when we saw it in theaters and you walked out. And
it's not okay.
And
that
I didn't
would be
see
like I got really offended and walked out of The Hobbit. That's
and I
not
didn't.
what happened.
And it's exactly what happened. And I didn't see the other two.
Wait, Tom, what would have offended me so much that I would leave The Hobbit? Like, be like, I've had enough.
The dwarves. I think it would be the dwarves. Too much singing.
Too much singing. No, I basically got bored, so I went to the bathroom and just sat in the lobby for 20 minutes on my phone.
Didn't we get into a fight before that too?
No, that was Taken 2.
Okay.
we fought at the Cheesecake Factory.
But it was the same. We were with our same friends, weren't
yes, it was with Mike and Janine. But no, we fought at Cheesecake Factory before we saw Taken 2, and it was mad awkward at Taken 2.
Taken 2 wasn't even that good.
It was super awkward.
Taken 2, we made it through. We both made it through. We both made it through.
Yeah,
so
sure.
in that sense, it was a better experience than when we saw The Hobbit.
Yeah, that was. What was worse, us fighting at the Cheesecake Factory before Taken 2 or sitting through The Hobbit?
The answer is sitting through The Hobbit.
I couldn't do it. I can fight all day long. Sitting through The Hobbit? No, not for me.
Oh, man.
Okay, so I've said this. I should have told you about these beforehand.
Yeah.
What is one of the most annoying orders that you've ever heard? Because Sally, her thing is like she's awful at ordering. Like she'll be like, okay, I want the apple pie heated up with ice cream, but I want strawberry ice cream, not vanilla. And if you only have vanilla, then I want whipped cream. And if you don't have whipped cream, then I do not want that on it. But you have to keep the pie room temp, but it should be heated up otherwise. That was her pie order, pretty much.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm similar in ordering sometimes.
Not really. With you, it's more like, can I have this without meat on it?
Yeah. All right, Tom. Do you know my Chipotle order? If we're talking about orders, what's my Chipotle order?
You used to have a different one.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, but now it is white rice.
Yeah.
Pinto beans.
Yes.
It is cheese.
Yeah.
It is lettuce.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yes.
Sour cream
On the side.
on the side.
Yep.
And that's it, right?
Guacamole on the side.
Guacamole on the side, yeah.
Yes. And then when they
And
put
then-
it on top, I get mad.
You get a tortilla on the
I
side.
get a tortilla on the side.
Yeah.
That's right.
Sometimes chips.
Wow, Tom, you're so good.
There's nothing in go back 15 seconds. Listen to that order again. There's nothing in this Chipotle order. There's nothing in it. It's like 10 things, but it's nothing.
Okay, when I used to go to Qdoba in college with you, and they would charge me like $2 for my
Yes,
burrito because it
yes.
would just be like rice, beans, tortilla. Like we had the
You don't
manager, and he was
there-
like, "I can't charge you $8 for this."
Whenever we go to Chipotle, instead of doing an online order, the guy or the person will be like, "Oh, do you want any? You sure don't want any fajita
Every
veggies?"
single time they're like, "You don't want any meat? No. Do you want the fajita veggies? No. Well, do you want the corn salsa? No. You know we have like tofu." I'm like, "No." Don't mess with my Chipotle order. And they always do, right? It'll come with chicken sometimes.
Our Chipotles aren't the best around here.
Oh, they make me mad. Let me tell you. So
And we don't complain about restaurants really.
never. Except right now.
Which is one thing. Well, that's what I'm saying. This is real because we're actually complaining about it.
Yeah.
But like when it comes to an order like what Sally has, I am so deathly afraid of that.
Yeah.
In my life.
Yeah.
That I feel so bad even if I'm like, oh, can I have like mozzarella cheese instead of American?
If I did that and then they punched me in the face instead, I'd say thank you.
I would say I deserved that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be like, oh my god. Like, if I ordered like a tofu thing and they gave me like dog food, I'd be like, thank you.
Yeah,
like, I don't complain.
Yeah, as long as it's not like meat.
Yeah.
If it was like vegan dog food.
Yeah, if it was vegan dog food, I'd just eat it.
Yeah.
And I would say thank you so much. It was so good.
He's having so much fun right now.
He's having a blast. It's so much fun. I love it. Love.
Do you want to switch?
Love him crawling all over me. Maybe a good idea.
All right, we're back.
We're back. All right. So this is very ironic. What do you think about the pacing
of the movie?
Of the movie, not our timing with our baby switch. So it's like a scene and then a 5-year time jump and then another scene and then a 5-year time jump and then it's like they stick there, like 10 years.
Well, I think it's fine because I think the pacing of the movie's pretty brisk. It's not a.
Oh yeah,
it's not a slow movie.
Unlike Elvis.
Oh. Unlike Elvis is right.
Unlike 8 Crazy Nights.
Unlike the interminable 8 Crazy Nights. No, but I think that those earlier scenes are important because they inform the where the bulk and the chunk of the movie is.
And because you get Billy Crystal in like a fake wig.
Yes. And a beard.
Yeah.
And you get this baby nonstop trying to grab the microphone. Yeah, no, I think that I have no problem with the pacing at all. I think that. Are you more referring to the structure?
Sure. Okay.
I also have no problem with the structure.
Perfect. I agree because one of my things that I don't like about some movies, I don't love movies that span a super long time and then it like covers a lot of that time and it takes a while to get to the good stuff. Like
we watched Boyhood.
Okay, that's different. Because that didn't really have a plot.
Okay.
Like, I don't like movies where...
This movie didn't have a plot.
This movie... Oh, yeah. Well, I liked that it really focused kind of on when they were in their early 30s.
I don't know if it was Ebert that said this, but it was somebody or some review that I read said that this movie is almost like what people want to be able to say or...
Yeah.
Or... It's the screenplay itself is not realistic.
No.
But it works because of the way the characters work.
Yeah.
And I think that helps the structure sort of fit a little bit better because you got to get to the point.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Especially for a movie that's as briskly paced as this one is.
Yeah.
You're getting to but the acting is so good that the people that they can get those words and those ideas across without it sounding like it's contrived or...
Well, yeah, I think that the chemistry between the two leads is so good.
Yeah, I mean, directing, writing, and the acting, like, and the chemistry between the actors is all really
honestly
top-notch.
Cinematography kind of slaps too.
Yeah,
and the music. Oh my God, is this the perfect movie?
Iconic, you did it again.
It's so good. Okay, now. For the 8 Crazy Nights episode, I kind of was mean to you. Okay? When we talked about technical fouls, I just talked about all the stuff that you like didn't do around the house.
Yes.
Right? So you can be mean to me. At one point in the movie, Harry says that there are high maintenance girls and low maintenance girls, and Sally says, "What am I?" And he said, "You're the worst kind. You're a high maintenance girl that thinks she's low maintenance." So, Tom, am I a high-maintenance girl or a low-maintenance girl?
I don't know why you thought I would be mean.
I don't know. You're allowed to be if you want to be.
I know I'm allowed to be. Thank you for the permission.
You're welcome.
No, you're not high maintenance. You're really not.
What if I kind of wanted to be?
Then you should try harder.
Get my nails done.
Yeah. No, you're not high maintenance at all.
Oh my God.
You have your idiosyncrasies like anybody does, but...
My quirks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, but like I'm not gonna like sit around and like I don't have to do anything. I just have to deal with like the stuff that you get like freaked out about.
Me get freaked out. Like, did you smell that? Does that smell like gas?
Yeah.
Like,
And the answer is no, I didn't smell that. Oh, I smell that. No, it doesn't smell like gas.
I'm like, did he cough? Does that sound bad if he coughed? And you'll be like, no, he coughed one time.
Yeah. And also he coughed a lot because he had a cold recently.
Oh, I know. And I was like, oh my gosh. Do
And
you
guess
think
what?
It's getting worse.
He's still here.
He's just vibing now. Okay, ready? How does New Year's Eve rank in holidays for you?
Low.
I think it gets a featured role here, which is interesting because they also cover Christmas. They cover I know graduation's not a holiday, but like graduation.
It's an event.
Yeah, they cover weddings, but to me, it's all about New Year's Eve. You think it ranks low for you?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of love New Year's Eve.
Nope. Don't care about it.
Why? All right, why is it low?
I don't care about New Year's. I don't care about New Year's resolutions. I don't care about the ball dropping. I don't care about any of it. Yeah. It's a new year. It's another day. I really don't. I don't sit here. I don't sit and treat years as if there's some sort of new beginning or there's something different that's going. It's to me. It's another day. I like the fact that it's celebrated because we get a day off for it.
Okay.
So I appreciate it in that way. I appreciate it in that sense more than I appreciate, say, an Arbor Day. But it's nothing. It's no Christmas. It's no Halloween, which we don't even get a day off for.
No.
It's no Thanksgiving. It's no even. I mean, I'm not huge into the. Is he drooling?
A little bit.
I'm not huge into the chauvinistic aspects of the 4th of July, but I like the 4th of July and I like the hot dogs.
Sure.
And things like that.
Yeah, the hot dog contest.
I would rank New Year's Eve not one of my faves.
Let me tell you why New Year's Eve slaps. Okay, ready? Number 1, you've got Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve.
Don't care.
Which, without fail, every year something weird happens. And I like that. So I don't really go out on New Year's. I never really did that. I like staying home and watching Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve. And you have to say that whole thing. Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve.
Try again.
Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve.
Try again.
Dick Clark's
New Year's Rockin' Eve.
Yeah, except now it's Ryan Seacrest's Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve or something like that. You have to watch that. Number 2, you have to flip to Anderson Cooper and Andy Cohen getting smashed on CNN.
You know what has the same initials as Dick Clark?
Who?
Don't care.
Number 3. Ready? You can eat lots of appetizers. New Year's Eve.
You can do that every day of my life.
The dinner is just appetizers. So you get to eat mini quiches.
Your specific one is.
You get mini quiches. You can do the hot dogs wrapped in the blankets. You can do the pretzel tray. You got to do the mini
You could do these on
tray.
any of the other holidays.
Okay.
You could do this on Memorial Day if you wanted to.
You could do brie and croûte or whatever it's called. So I love that. Okay. Number 3, signature drink. You always have to have a signature
All of these
drink.
things you can do on any other holiday.
Number 4, they have the weirdest.
Except for you can't watch the New Year's
ball
Rockin'
drop. I love that.
Don't care.
Number 4, they have the weirdest mascot. The New Year's baby. Who is the New Year's baby?
Well, it's the new year. The baby is the new year.
Oh. Number 5, it's April's birthday.
It is April's birthday, and that's why I appreciate it. Not
that's
because
why
it's New Year's Eve.
That's so rude that you don't like New Year's.
No, I like April's birthday.
Okay. Also, New Year's is when Harry Met Sally takes place.
In part.
And the big stuff is then. The parts you don't like, actually.
Yeah, I don't like the ending.
You kind of don't like the ending.
I think the ending is I don't want to say worse because I don't think it's bad, but it's the part I like the least about the movie. It's
kind of funny because Harry walks through New York City and then runs at New Year's, right? And it reminds me, shout out to my book of the month people. It reminds me of a book called Lillian Boxfish Takes a Walk. Have you ever heard of that?
Nope.
It didn't really do anything.
Does Lillian Boxfish then take a run?
No, she's 85 years
Lillian.
old.
Not Lily Ann.
No. Lillian. She's
Lillian.
85, so I hope she's not running. And she basically
It'd be pretty sick if she could though.
She walks through New York on New Year's and she kind of reflects on her life. And it took place 1 billion years ago, so she's like, oh, remember the printing press and stuff like
Oh boy.
And it reminds me of that. And I was like, wow, I wonder if Lillian Boxfish Takes a Walk, the author, was thinking of Harry. What do you think?
When did it come out?
The book?
Yeah.
I don't know, a couple years ago.
Oh, okay. Maybe. This happens in a bunch of movies though.
Yeah.
It's not
It makes me think of like running through airports, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like that
which
kind of thing.
isn't that Sleepless in Seattle too?
No, that's Love Actually.
Oh. The airport you're talking about.
Yes.
Somebody runs through the city in another Nora Ephron movie.
You might be right.
But I've never
I don't
seen Sleepless
remember.
in Seattle, so I have no clue.
Great movie. I think Rosie O'Donnell's in that one.
Hey, Rose.
And then
Rosie.
the other one is really good too. You've Got Mail. Okay, ready? I said Harry's from Haddonfield, New Jersey.
Yes.
Now
Like Michael Myers.
That's exactly where I'm going with this. Now I understand that Halloween is set in the fake town of Haddonfield, Illinois, but it's based on Haddonfield, New Jersey. So I said Harry's from Haddonfield and was a teenager in the late 70s. I think that we are ripe for a Halloween crossover. Do we think that Harry escaped Michael Myers?
I think that Michael Myers didn't even want to kill Harry because Harry was so insufferable.
He was just like, all right, enough. I'm just going to leave you alone. And Harry's just talking on and on. And he's like, I'm going to go down the street.
The funny part about Harry's, though, is that I like him because I love Billy Crystal.
It's like such a good job.
You write this character down on paper. If I read the screenplay, I would hate this character.
Awful. It kind of reminds me actually of like a Jake Lacey in The White Lotus, where it's like, I'm not supposed to be obsessed with him.
Yeah,
and I think he's hilarious.
Same with Theo James.
Yeah, right. Or Cameron. Like I'm like, oh my god, you're so awful, but I can't stop watching, and I think you're so funny.
I'm literally emo.
When Jake Lacey, I'm literally emo. It's so funny. Watch The White Lotus. Season 1's better than season 2. I said it. Okay.
Yeah, come at us about that. I agree. Season 2 is great though.
Season 2 is great. We love you, Daphne. Okay. My last thing, I am so mad because this movie gets a 99 out of 100 to me. I had to deduct a point. What was happening at the end of this movie that I have been so mad and have seen? I swear to God, every movie.
I wrote this down too.
Every movie that we've been watching lately has this. What is it, Tom?
It's when you're at the end of the movie and you're at like the climactic part, and then it shows a montage of what happened earlier in the movie.
We just watched the movie. Why am I seeing a montage of little scenes from what happened in this movie?
No joke. It happened in this. It happened in Elvis.
Yes.
It happened like 3 movies ago.
Happened in Falling for Christmas.
Yep.
I think it happened in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Falling for Christmas, we can give a pass.
They got to fill that runtime.
Yes.
I think it happened in 8 Crazy Nights. I swear to you, like every movie we've watched. I think it happened in RRR.
I was gonna say I don't think it happened in RRR, but maybe it did.
It definitely did not happen in Banshees of Inisherin.
No, it did not.
They would not have done that.
No.
So I have seen it in like 5 movies this past couple weeks, and I'm just like, we watched this movie. Why are we doing a montage? Unless you're Rocky 4, I do not need a montage on what I just watched.
But Rocky 4, for the most part, Rocky 4 is just the training montage. It's not the recap montage. The focus in all these other movies, including this one that we're doing today, which I'm forgetting the name of, When Harry Met Sally, it's a recap montage.
Yeah. I don't need a recap. I watched this movie. Honestly,
it's 92 minutes.
And it was not that complex of a plot.
No. It's the plot is this. It's 5 words. Will they or won't they? That's the movie.
I'm just saying no more recap montages.
I mean, I don't know if this made
the cut. They did it in Do Revenge 2 to a Billie Eilish song.
Yeah, I mean, let's not act like Do Revenge is the most well-written movie of all time either. That's in the Falling for Christmas category.
But seriously though, like When Harry Met Sally is a really good movie.
Yeah, and that's why I would hold it to a higher standard.
I agree. That was my last question.
Even Elvis.
Even Elvis.
I would hold
Even Elvis.
I would hold Elvis to a higher standard. He's drooling, oh my lord, and he's pulling the microphone. We've devolved here, people.
Gunny. What are you doing?
There he is.
Shimmy in for the camera.
That's all the questions you have?
That's it. I'm
okay.
done.
I can't operate with him on me.
We can do another switch if you want.
Yeah.
All right. Uh-oh.
I think he's getting annoyed anyway, so. So, okay. What are your thoughts on the framing device with the old couples? And also,
I loved it.
And also, who's your favorite?
My favorite is the one where it's the old people.
Okay, there's like 10 of those.
All of them. And they like lived really close to each other, and then they lived really close to each other, and then like did something and were really close but never met, and then they just met in an elevator one day. I loved that one. Which one was your favorite?
I don't know.
Oh, you didn't.
Harry and Sally.
That was cute at the end, where they talk about the coconut cake.
But also, it's like they are. I wish they would have done an older actor and an older actress to fit in with the elderly theme.
Like
so it's like
when Harry and Sally were old.
So it's like they lived their life together, because all the other couples are like 90 years old,
right?
Except for them, and it's like sort of sticks
and they're
out.
like, and we've been married for 53 years.
They could have put Billy Crystal back in his Miracle Max getup from Princess Bride,
yes.
which I thought Princess Bride came out after this movie.
No, it came out 2 years before.
Because I always thought, I'm not that familiar with Billy Crystal's career. I always thought that
How dare you?
This was like his breakout, but he was already long famous before this.
Yes. I think he did like stand up.
He was 40 when this was filmed, and Meg Ryan was 28.
Don't love that.
Yeah.
I mean, they're old enough that it's fine.
I mean, it is what it is,
still, like,
but
weird.
Yeah, he was 40.
40. Well, that's probably why he was not in Sleepless in Seattle and You've Got Mail.
And that's also probably why he was balding in this movie.
Exactly.
I mean, no offense to my balding kings, but
I love him in this movie, and I love that framing device. I love the old people telling their stories, especially like the long-suffering old ladies that like don't say anything.
Yeah.
And then the husband's like talking about how amazing their lives are, and she's just like,
yeah. It's great.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, okay. What do you think? I guess this ties in with our takeaways. Do you have anything in this movie that you think is like the best lesson about relationships? Or the worst? Because I disagree with most of what this movie has to say.
I disagree with what a lot of like what is said by like Harry and Sally, but I do think that great relationships come from friendships.
Yeah.
I think that that's it. Like Harry and Sally are friends and have been friends for a decade, and I think that their relationship's gonna last because they got all
the issues out of the way beforehand.
Yeah. I think that's my big one. What about you?
No, I think that that's exactly what I was going to say, that basically, you know, the foundation of a relationship is friendship.
Yeah, that's why you and I can't stand each other. So we're doomed.
Well, yeah, I mean, we were friends before we started dating.
Yeah, we knew each other for almost a year.
And look at us now.
Not the baby.
What do you think the worst lesson is?
There's a lot of worse lessons in there.
Basically anything.
Anything that Billy Crystal says in the movie.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
So is Meg Ryan on your Mount Rushmore of rom-com actresses?
Meg Ryan is my Rushmore. It's Meg Ryan in When Harry Met Sally. Meg Ryan in Sleepless in Seattle. It's Meg Ryan in You've Got Mail. And I'm saving the last spot for any future rom-coms Meg Ryan blesses us with.
So you can just put her character from like As the World Turns as the placeholder for
Don't look at her Wikipedia, Tom.
Why? I want to see if there's a fourth one.
I don't. There was Joe versus the volcano.
Yeah.
But
there's Kate and Leopold.
No, we don't count that. That's a romantic time jump. The time period jumpy thing. I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have
There's a movie called The Women that had Adam Brody. Do you know Adam Brody?
No.
Wow, you're not a 30-year-old woman. Because if you were
I'm 30, but I'm not a woman.
If you were a 30-year-old woman, you would know Adam Brody played Seth Cohen in The OC. He was in Promising Young Woman.
Oh, that guy. He was he was with the Sam Richardson crew, right?
Yes,
in the beginning.
Was in Jennifer's Body.
Right. Okay, so I do know him.
Yes.
I know of him, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know what? Jennifer Garner. I'll add her.
She'll be the fourth one?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the 3 Meg Ryans and a Jennifer Garner.
Jennifer Garner and 13 going on 30.
Just specifically that one?
Yes.
Okay.
That deserves its own spot.
Okay. Who else is in 13 going on 30?
Mark Ruffalo.
Okay.
And Judy Greer. We love you, Judy Greer.
Yeah, Judy Greer, underappreciated queen.
And who plays Caesar in Planet of the Apes?
Andy Serkis.
He's in it too, I think.
He was in like Black Panther, right?
Yeah.
Or something?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's in 13 going on 30.
Yeah. Okay. So in the first draft of this movie, this is leading into a question. Harry and Sally don't end up together.
Yeah, I'd prefer that actually. But it doesn't.
All right, well, that's my question.
I don't know. It's kind of like yes and no. Like 2022 me, like a movie. Yeah, okay. I think if they don't end up together, that's kind of like the vibe. But I love I love it when your nose crinkles, and I love that you hate that. Blah, blah. I like that stuff.
No, that was the worst part of the movie. But I think that it works, and I think that it's better that they do end up together. However, that's because I think it has almost become too passé for them not to end up together.
Get together, yeah.
It's like sort of swung back the other way, I think.
Yeah.
Where like I appreciate them being together at the end, but mainly I don't like the way it was done.
Okay.
I think it was too the rest of the movie is pretty straight up and real and relatable.
Yeah.
You know, but the end is just so Hollywood.
It's very Hollywood.
That it doesn't sit right with me.
That's fair, Tom. That's very fair.
Yeah. I think so too. Okay, so we're going to recast these two.
Okay, I think I'll pick Sally, you pick Harry. Ready?
Okay.
Quinta Brunson.
Oh, Jesus. I didn't expect that.
What? Who'd you pick?
That's a good choice.
Who'd you pick as Harry?
I've got people. How old is she?
She's around our age.
I've got people who are a little bit older.
Okay.
The first person I thought of, this guy's way older. This would have been 15, 20 years ago. Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, of course. Well, 13 going on 30.
Yeah, right. Just by the way that Harry talks and his sort of like weird dorky mannerisms, especially in the beginning.
Yeah.
And another one is Heath Ledger.
Who was in a great rom-com, 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yep. Also Michael B. Jordan, I think, would be good in something like this.
Yeah, definitely.
He's a little younger. He's like 36, 35.
Him and Quinta would be good.
Age-wise, yeah.
Yeah.
For the women... For the women, I think it would have... Quinta Brunson's a good one. I think that somebody like Emma Stone would work.
Yeah, of course.
Somebody who is like kind of funny, but also like really can play somebody who's really caught up in their own crap.
Absolutely.
And I think, Quinta Brunson's really good at that. Emma Stone is really good at that. I actually wrote Emma Stone twice, and I just realized it.
Really into Emma Stone.
Yeah. Zendaya too, I think, would be a good one.
Oh, well, she's good in anything.
Yeah, those are probably mine.
I love that.
This baby, man.
He's on one.
He is. It's the witching hour. It's party time.
He's gonna go to bed soon.
It's party time.
Hopefully, yeah, it's party time. It's been party time until 11 p.m. the past couple days.
Yeah, it hasn't been ideal. Okay, so that's all the questions I have. I have a little bit of trivia. Yeah, so I'm gonna do some casting. Tom Hanks turned down the role, as we talked about.
Boo.
He thought the film was too lightweight.
Okay.
Which, I mean, I don't know. What else was he doing at this time?
89.
He was doing like The Burbs. What is he talking about? Michael Keaton was considered. I think he would have been really good.
Yeah. Mr. Mom.
I've never seen Mr. Mom.
Me either.
Okay. Albert Brooks turned it down, which I think you said that he said it was too much like a Woody Allen movie.
I think so.
I thought before I knew what I watched this movie a few years ago with you for the first time.
Yes.
And before that, I thought it was a Woody Allen movie. I don't know why that is.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't know why that is.
Listen, I love Annie Hall, but we don't speak of that man.
No. The big W.
Yeah.
The other big W.
Oh, God.
Who we also don't really speak about.
No.
Bill Murray, Jeff Bridges, and Harrison Ford were also considered. Harrison Ford would be a completely different character.
Yeah. He was doing Witness and kind of
Indiana Jones
stuff.
It released right alongside an Indiana Jones movie.
Yes.
And as for Sally, Rob Reiner wanted Susan Dye. Is that how you say her name?
I don't know.
When she turned it down, he approached Elizabeth Perkins, Elizabeth McGovern, and Molly Ringwald.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like Molly Ringwald was...
every single movie around this time was like, hey, let's try to get Molly Ringwald.
That's 110%.
Yeah. I couldn't picture these characters as anybody different, to be honest.
No, it fits them perfectly.
As you mentioned, the character of Harry was somewhat based on Rob Reiner. He was depressed, cynical, and neurotic, but with a big heart underneath.
Vibes.
The character of Sally was somewhat based on Nora Ephron, who was optimistic, cheerful, loved control, and was the type of person who was just fine with everything, like Sally.
Mm-hmm.
They chose beautiful locations to highlight the character's lack of insight.
Ooh,
Harry
that's so smart.
Harry and Sally are as blind to romance as they are to the love growing between them, and the same logic was used for Harry's apartment. The windows overlook the Empire State Building.
Yeah, they're huge.
It could be either the loneliest or the loveliest view in the world.
Beautiful. Yeah, I noticed in particular they're at the Met.
Yes.
Right? The Metropolitan Museum of Art. And it's this gorgeous blossoming tree in the background. And they're just completely arguing and whatever. Or talking.
And like the campus in the beginning, when they're driving away from it, is like the most beautiful.
Wow, that is so... I love that.
Smart. It's like
so
the world is right in front of you, man.
Oh, it's so good.
Harry is shown reading Stephen King's Misery.
Oh, snap, really?
Yep, which was the next movie directed by Rob Reiner.
I think he was working on Misery when like the script and like the
at this time. He probably was, which is probably why he put it in the movie.
Man, Misery was such a good movie.
Yep.
Go listen to that episode. Nobody listened to it.
No, people did.
Oh, really?
It's not one of our more popular ones.
I love
Well,
Misery.
I had multiple people come to me about that movie and say I hadn't seen that movie or I hadn't seen it in a long time. Well, I think it was one of each. And after I listened to that episode, I wanted to watch it, and I watched it.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's such a good movie.
Good.
Rob Reiner's the best.
Rob Reiner, oh my God, my king.
So Nora Ephron, on the other hand, was pleased with how the movie turned out, but she hated the title.
I like the title.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I don't know what I don't know if I have a better one off the top of my head, but I don't think there's anything wrong. It's a unique title for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And it makes it really easy to remember the characters' names.
Yeah, but I don't like the characters' names because they're so similar. They're so hard to pronounce.
Harry, Sally.
Yes.
Yeah, it's hard to remember.
That plot summary was hard.
Yeah, it's like Hallie and Sari.
Yeah, exactly. And also, my last piece of trivia is that just last week or 2 weeks ago, this movie was chosen by the Library of Congress to be preserved in the National Film Registry for being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant.
Yeah.
When do you think Falling for Christmas is going to be selected by the by the Library of Congress?
Well, it was the fourth most popular movie since May 2022.
So pretty soon. Probably on the docket.
What about Hot Rod?
Hot Rod, it's not already?
Just the 90-second scene of him falling through the forest.
And like the 8 times he fights with his dad, is that Ian McShane?
Yeah. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Of John Wick fame?
I was gonna say of Game of Thrones fame.
And Game of Thrones.
Is he? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he was. I think that's all the trivia I have. And then I just have a little bit from Ebert because whenever we do a movie, which we've done a few lately, that were in Ebert's time period and his wheelhouse, I always like to go see what he says. Mm-hmm. He gave it 3 stars out of 4.
That's pretty good.
He said some interesting things about the actors. Good things.
Oh.
He said, Harry is played by Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan as Sally, and they make a good movie couple because both actors are able to suggest genuine warmth and tenderness.
Aw.
This isn't a romance of passion, although passion is present, but one that becomes possible only because the two people have grown up together, have matured until they can finally see what they really want in a partner. Ephron's dialogue, this is where I read this, Ephron's dialogue represents the way people would like to be able to talk. It's witty and epigrammatic, and there are lots of lines to quote when you're telling friends about the movie. The dialogue would defeat many actors, but Crystal and Ryan help it to work. Their characters seem smart and quick enough to almost be this witty. Crystal had demonstrated that quality in his previous film, The Underrated Memories of Me, and it's here again this time in scenes when he visibly softens when he sees that he has hurt her.
Aww.
He is one of the rare actors who can make an apology on the screen and convince us he means it.
Yeah.
Ryan has a difficult assignment. She spends most of the movie convincing Harry and herself that there's nothing between them, and she has to let us see that there is something after all.
Yeah. Wow. Roger.
Harry and Sally
does it again.
Harry and Sally are aided and sometimes hindered in their romance by the efforts of their best friends, who meet on a blind date arranged by Harry and Sally to provide a possible partner for Sally and for Harry. They're the kind of people who don't make it hard for themselves, who realize they like each other and accept that fact and act on it. Harry and Sally are tougher customers. They fight happiness every step of the way until it finally wears them down.
Yeah.
Roger Ebert, God.
He's just the best. What can you do?
Yeah, I mean, that's somebody who said it a lot better than we did.
Yeah. Well, and it's so true that they, as characters, have such witty things to say. And meanwhile, I walk through my life like...
I mean, just listen to this podcast. We are not... We're not Nora Ephron.
I wish I was.
Well,
oh my God. Well, not now, but
yeah,
like
in theory,
writing, she's so witty.
Yeah, she's great. Food, I think the most memorable food scene is
diner scene. Well, no, but honestly, every order she does.
Yeah, but the diner scene is the
iconic
food scene. Yeah,
Cat's Deli.
Yeah, which is obviously a majorly famous deli in New York City.
A delicatessen.
Yep.
Where they charge a lot of money apparently.
Did you see the sign that they have up?
It said
it's like you should order what she's having or something.
What she had or
yeah.
Cute.
Yeah. They also mentioned chocolate mousse cakes at one point, and I don't remember the context.
They also said that they had a coconut cake with chocolate syrup that you could get on the side because some people don't like chocolate syrup on their coconut cake.
I find that a funny concept because not everybody likes coconut cakes. I like coconut cakes.
Growing up, I didn't really love coconut. Now I'm team coconut.
Coconut's great.
Yeah, I'm not as
Coconut's
into chocolate nowadays, but I will be into it when it's mixed with like a coconut or a fruit or something. That slaps now.
I was an old man when I was like 9 years old because I freaking loved Almond Joys and Mounds.
Yeah, that is old man behavior.
Oh man, fire, flames.
How do you feel about paydays?
Paydays are those or no? Those are Baby Ruths.
Paydays are just the peanuts and caramel, no chocolate to be.
Oh, I thought that was Baby Ruth.
No, Baby Ruth is doused in a blanket of chocolate.
Oh. Paydays garbage.
Paydays are awful, and if you like them, unsubscribe.
Yeah. That'll give
Unless you're an elephant.
Yeah. Great. This is now a Meg Ryan podcast anyway, so if you're not a Meg Ryan fan, get out.
Yeah. So everyone will stay.
Yeah. Mrs. Nesbitt Award? Harry and Sally?
Yeah, they both have that kind of
because you would think
crisis.
Sally, but like it's really Harry too, because he goes back on everything he said in the beginning of the movie.
It's true. Oh, and when Helen stopped and he like has a nervous breakdown.
Yeah, he freaks out. Okay, good vibes, bad vibes. Harry.
Bad vibes. No.
You think so? Even by the end?
No, he's good vibes.
Yeah, I think
he's just annoying vibes where it's like, God, Harry, shut up.
He's annoying and he thinks he's smarter than people, but like by the end he realizes that like he's not.
He's also, I think, like
it's a defense mechanism.
Yeah, exactly. And he's more thoughtful and nice and cares about stuff than you think.
Than he even in the beginning.
He thinks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Sally's always good vibes.
Well, I mean, I didn't even put her. I was just wondering about Harry. Just a couple of comments that I had about the movie. Bring back Meg Ryan. I wrote.
Thank you.
The batting cages scene. So there's a scene where Jess and
Harry
are at the batting cages and they're just taking some hacks, taking some swings, and they're just talking about.
And Harry fights with like a 9-year-old.
Harry fights with like a 9-year-old. It just reminds me of the one year that Billy Crystal was an honorary Yankee and he took like an at bat during spring training and he struck out.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I love stuff like that when you just have like a random celebrity just doing like just living their dream doing stuff like that.
Yeah,
I love that.
That's true. Like there's that new show where like Scaramucci has to be like.
I'm not going to compare Billy Crystal with Scaramucci.
Remember when he was on Big Brother?
Celebrity Big Brother 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We tuned in.
Shout out Candy Burris.
Tamar Braxton.
Yeah, she won, right?
Yeah.
This is the second movie that we've watched this month for this podcast that has a sharper image in it.
Yeah.
Because it was in 8 Crazy Nights.
Yeah.
What a bizarre time to be alive.
Do you know what's also weird is yesterday my Aunt Sue saw a sharper image commercial for a very, very large heating pad. And she was like, I wonder how much that is. And she looked it up and it was $30.
4 easy payments of, yeah.
No, it's $30. She might get one.
Good for her. Good for Sharper Image still making sales out there. I wrote that I should hate these people because they're so annoying.
They're like yuppies.
Complaining in these like super nice apartments that are like nicer than
nice.
anything I'll ever step into.
Yeah.
They're drinking Evian water, like but I can't hate them. I just can't do it.
No, they're just fun.
Even Marie and Jess, I just can't hate them.
Nope.
I mean, Carrie Fisher's great, but
I love her.
I can't do it. They won me over.
That's a good movie.
And I think the only thing I have left here, talked about the timeline, talked about the montages. The one comment I have here is that one of my issues with romantic comedies in general is that it loses the comedy aspect at some point in the movie. This one does not.
No, it doesn't.
Not
it's
at
funny
all.
All the way through.
I even wrote down here, even right after they're fighting at the wedding, there's like a slapstick segment where Sally's carrying the Christmas tree back to her apartment, and it's funny.
Yeah.
And like a second later, Harry's singing "Call Me" into the answering machine.
That was so funny.
Like,
that's something I would do.
Yeah, like it uses comedy in a way to further the romance, and it's.
I got confused because Wikipedia calls it a romantic comedy drama, and I disagree. I think it's a romantic comedy. Period.
Well, no.
Yes.
Well, no. I think, especially for the time, it's a drama. Because it's serious and you want to see them get together, and it's not
it's seriously funny.
The issues that it tackles are like romantic comedies are like the proposal. That's not exactly That's
serious. That's about deportation, Tom.
That's not tackling the
You think deportation's funny?
Yes.
She was from Canada.
Yeah. I feel so bad for Sandra Bullock. But it's not exactly tackling things that are like in a meaningful way. It's a romantic comedy. That's what it's there for. That's its purpose. That's fine. This movie was trying to make statements about relationships and the way people interact with each other.
So you're saying that Betty White singing "Get Low" was not to make a political point?
Not per se.
Okay.
But maybe. Yeah. I mean, that's why I'm okay with the drama being added to that.
Okay, fine.
And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think that's all I've got here.
Perfect.
Does When Harry Met Sally make baby's first watch list?
Yeah.
He's finally sleeping now.
Finally. Oh my God.
For the love of
He'll
God.
probably wake up again soon.
Yeah, he's going to.
All right, Tom. So yeah, of course it makes the list. Love this movie.
Got any takeaways?
My takeaway is don't fight it, man. If you're
tired, go to sleep.
Yeah, if you're really tired, go to sleep. If you love your best friend Sally and your Harry, go for it.
I just said communicate.
Yeah, that's another one.
Say what you mean.
It's interesting because Sally's able to communicate all the menial aspects of her life really well, right? The very specifics of what she wants in an order and food and that kind of thing. But she's not able to communicate the big stuff.
Well, and
wow,
Harry's the same way. He has all these grand ideas about this and that, but like when it comes to just having a conversation with somebody, it's very hard for him to do it.
So true. That's a good takeaway.
Yeah.
Love it.
Next week we are going to be watching a movie that I've actually never seen.
Yeah, I can't believe you're like the only person to never have seen that.
No, Nick hasn't seen it either.
Oh my God, of course not.
But it's one that is it's back in the news, baby. Because of its sequel. We are watching 2009's Avatar.
Wow, we're going with another 9. Like
The Last Airbender. No, I'm just kidding. It's the blue Avatar.
The blue people, the Na'vi.
Yeah.
We're going to Pandora and we're going to see the Na'vi and Sigourney Weaver in a really awkward Stanford shirt that like she got in Na'vi size when she's like 8 feet tall. Like, why do you have a Stanford shirt that's like for 8 feet tall blue people?
Yeah, so it is directed by the iconic James Cameron.
He's wild.
Who apparently delivered to the studio a 9-hour cut of Avatar 3.
And he said he wants the entire thing FX before he decides to start making cuts.
And he also said about Avatar 4 that it goes nuts. And that the only notes that the studio gave him were holy F.
Yes.
And that's it. No notes.
Yep.
So this is going to be the greatest series in film history. And I'm ready to tackle
Avatar?
The first film. Starring Sam Worthington and Zoe Saldana.
Yes, that's right.
And that's it. And besides
Sigourney Weaver as an 8 foot tall Na'vi person wearing a Stanford shirt.
Yeah. So come to Pandora with us next week.
Yeah.
That's that, right?
Yeah. Bye.
See you later.
Happy New Year.